Whether you admit it or not, you're having a relationship for people and not even for yourself. You just need to decide within our world if it's for you or is it for show.
Okay, so pause whatever you're doing, because the drama unfolding right now is literally insane. Like, we're talking the kind of Hollywood chaos that you think you've seen before, but trust me, you haven't. Two of the biggest names in pop culture, Selena Gomez and Taylor Swift, just dropped revelations that are sending shockwaves across fandoms, group chats, and basically the entire internet. And the craziest part? These two stories don't just stand on their own. They're tangled together in a way that's got everyone asking the same question. Did Hailey Bieber actually come between Selena and Justin? And if so, why is Taylor Swift choosing right now to expose it? And oh yeah, Selena might have just revealed if she's still in love with Justin Bieber after all these years. Like, are we serious? We need to break this down. But before we do, let me just paint the scene, because the timing here is everything. That one burning question that's never really gone away. Does she still love him? Is there a part of her that can't let go of Justin, even after all the drama, all the heartbreak, all the new music, all the new relationships? Well, Selena just addressed it, and the way she did it is making people's jaws drop. Some are calling it closure. Some are calling it confession. And others are convinced she's sending a message. But that's not even the half of it. Because just as the internet was still reeling from Selena's revelation, Taylor Swift, yes, the queen of subtle shade, the mastermind of hidden messages, the woman who literally writes cryptic songs that turn into internet-wide investigations, just decided to expose Hailey Bieber in the most unexpected way possible. Now listen, Taylor doesn't just pop off about something unless she really means it. So, the fact that she's inserting herself into this whole Justin-Selena-Hailey mess, that says everything. And what she's claiming about Hailey, about her role in the Justin and Selena breakup, is shaking the entire fandom. Like, if this is true, it changes everything we thought we knew about one of the most talked about love triangles in celebrity history. So yeah, two major bombshells. Two massive fandoms colliding. And one huge question hovering over all of it: where does Justin stand in all of this? Because let's be honest, whether you love him, hate him, or just casually keep up with his drama, Justin Bieber is right at the center of this storm. Now, let's rewind a little and think about why this is so wild. For years, Selena and Justin's relationship was the blueprint for pop culture romance. Messy, dramatic, passionate, and heartbreakingly public. They had the Instagram unfollows. They had the cryptic lyrics. They had the emotional interviews. It was the love story of an entire generation. And even after Justin married Hailey, people never stopped wondering, what if? What if Justin and Selena were truly meant to be? What if things had gone differently? And most importantly, does Selena still care? Because think about what that means. For years, Hailey has been painted as either the supportive wife or the girl who got lucky. But if Taylor's hinting that Hailey actively broke up Justin and Selena, it flips the whole narrative upside down. Suddenly, Hailey's not just the woman who married Justin, she's the reason Justin isn't with Selena anymore. And if that's the case, it means this drama isn't just about past relationships. It's about betrayal. It's about choices. It's about two of the most famous women in the world standing on one side, and Hailey Bieber standing on the other. And don't get me wrong, this isn't just some random rumor floating around. Taylor Swift putting her stamp on this gives it weight. It makes fans feel like the theory they've whispered about for years might actually be true. And if Taylor's calling it out, you better believe there's something brewing behind the scenes. So now we're left with the juiciest, messiest, most addictive celebrity drama cocktail we've had in years. Selena finally admitting whether or not she still loves Justin. Taylor exposing Hailey for possibly being the reason their relationship ended. And Justin silent in the middle of it all, while the internet goes absolutely feral trying to connect the dots. Here's the thing. We've seen Selena drop emotional hints in her music before. We've seen her get candid in documentaries. We've seen her get choked up in interviews when Justin's name comes up. But this is different. Because this time, she's not hiding behind metaphors or lyrics. She's addressing it directly, and that makes it impossible to ignore. The internet is buzzing with theories. Some people think Taylor is paving the way for Selena to finally tell her full side of the story. Others think this is Taylor firing back at Hailey for years of quiet shade. And some even believe this could spark the biggest celebrity feud of 2025, Taylor and Selena versus Hailey and Justin. And honestly, if that happens, we're all getting front row seats. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into both of these bombshells. First, we're going to unpack exactly what Selena said about still being in love with Justin and why her answer is sparking so much debate. Then, we'll get into Taylor Swift's shocking claim about Hailey Bieber, what it means for Selena, and how this could totally rewrite the history of one of Hollywood's most famous love stories. But let me warn you, once you hear what was said, you'll never look at Selena, Justin, Hailey, or even Taylor the same way again. This isn't just drama. This is pop culture history in the making. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is free and help us bring you enjoyable content. And of course, watch till the end. Picture this. You're out on a sunny afternoon, maybe with an iced latte in one hand and your phone in the other, scrolling aimlessly through Instagram stories. Suddenly, a headline flashes before your eyes. Selena Gomez spills the beans about Justin Bieber. Now, before your thumb even decides whether to keep scrolling or click, your brain already lights up with a mix of curiosity, nostalgia, and maybe even a little secondhand drama addiction. Why? Because, like it or not, the saga of Selena and Justin isn't just their story, it's ours too. It's the kind of cultural soap opera that glued us to our screens, had us dissecting cryptic song lyrics like detectives with magnifying glasses, and left us arguing with strangers online about who really broke whose heart. And here's the kicker. Whether we admit it or not, most relationships that dominate the public eye, and sometimes even our private lives, aren't just about two people. They're about everyone watching. They're for show, for validation, for narrative, for that dopamine hit of attention. Harsh? Maybe. True? Definitely. And in the case of Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber, with paparazzi swarming like bees at a picnic and fans hanging on to every eyebrow raise, this truth couldn't be more evident. So buckle up, because we're about to unravel the tangled love web of not just Selena and Justin, but the larger spectacle of modern romance in the age of paparazzi flashbulbs, TikTok algorithms, and yes, even those absurd paparazzi questions about whether mixed couples make better babies. Spoiler, Selena's response to that one is pure gold. But before we dive into her clapbacks, her single girl glow, and her ongoing reign as queen of the internet, let's rewind the tape and revisit why this love story had us hooked like a catchy chorus in the first place. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber's romance was the equivalent of a binge-worthy Netflix series that somehow kept getting renewed. Even when the storyline had already wrapped up 3 seasons ago. They were young, wildly talented, and impossibly beautiful in that teenage heartthrob meets Disney princess kind of way. Their relationship had all the makings of an epic: secret getaways, emotional reunions, teary breakups, cryptic Instagram posts, and, of course, the kind of fan wars that could rival political debates in intensity. But here's what made Yelena, yes, their couple name deserves a mention, stand out. It wasn't just a love story. It was a mirror. Millions of fans projected their own ideas of love, heartbreak, and forgiveness onto the couple. Every time Selena shed a tear or Justin penned a lyric that sounded like it might be about her, fans collectively gasped, debated, and refreshed Twitter like their lives depended on it. And yet, what started as young love quickly morphed into something far heavier. This wasn't just two people trying to figure each other out. It was two people trying to navigate love while the entire world watched, judged, and speculated. Can you imagine trying to have an argument about dishes with your partner while TMZ is literally hiding in your bushes? Exactly. But the real question is, did they stay together for themselves or for us? Fast forward to today, and Selena Gomez can't even enjoy a soccer game with friends without someone popping out from behind a lens and shouting questions about Justin Bieber. And let's be honest, the questions are often so absurd they sound like they belong in a bad sitcom. Case in point, Do you think mixed couples make better-looking babies? First of all, what? Who wakes up in the morning, downs a cup of coffee, and decides that's the question they're going to lob at Selena Gomez? But beneath the ridiculousness lies something darker, the assumption that Selena's identity, happiness, and future will always be tied to Justin Bieber. It's as if the public refuses to let her be her own person outside the Selena narrative. That's not just unfair, it's exhausting. And yet, Selena handles it like a pro. Instead of letting these intrusive questions reduce her to a footnote in someone else's story, she reclaims her narrative. With humor, honesty, and just the right dose of sass, she flips the script. Her viral "I'm single, I'm just a little high maintenance" response? Iconic. It's the kind of line you want to steal and keep in your back pocket for the next time your aunt asks why you're still single at Thanksgiving dinner. But wait, does her playful declaration of singleness mean she's really moved on? Or is it another layer in the endless performance of celebrity relationships, where every answer doubles as a headline? When relationships become entertainment. Here's a thought that might sting a little. Maybe relationships like Selena and Justin's aren't really about love anymore. Maybe they're about content. Think about it. Every breakup fuels new songs, every reunion sparks fan theories, every paparazzi photo becomes a meme, and every vague caption sends the internet into detective mode. Their relationship wasn't just two people in love, it was a storyline we all consumed like popcorn. And here's the uncomfortable truth. We do the same thing in our own lives, just on a smaller scale. We curate our relationships for Instagram, write captions that sound like poetry, and maybe even stay in relationships longer than we should because we like the way they look to other people. Sound familiar? Yep. Selena and Justin might just be exaggerated versions of what we all do in the age of likes, shares, and viral moments. But if that's true, then the big question becomes, how do you know if your relationship is for you or for show? Part of the magic and madness of Selena was that it blurred the line between their love story and ours. When Selena and Justin broke up, it wasn't just their heartbreak. It was ours too. When they got back together, fans cheered like their own team had just scored in overtime. Their love became a mirror for our own hopes and insecurities. But here's the twist. Just like we projected our fantasies onto them, they also lived inside a hall of mirrors created by fans, the media, and the music industry. Every reunion was hyped, every lyric dissected, every Instagram unfollow treated like breaking news. The relationship wasn't just theirs anymore, it belonged to the culture. So when we say they were having a relationship for people and not even for themselves, it's not just a catchy headline. It's the reality of fame in the 21st century. Celebrities don't just live their lives, they perform them. And whether we admit it or not, so do we. But if Selena and Justin's story is a mirror, then what exactly is it reflecting about us? Enter Hailey Baldwin, now Hailey Bieber. When Justin married her, it should have marked the clean break from his past, the final season finale to the Selena saga. But of course, fans weren't ready to let go. Every smile between Justin and Hailey was compared to old pictures of him and Selena. Every affectionate post was read like a desperate attempt to prove something. And every misstep was magnified into a symbol that maybe, just maybe, he hadn't fully moved on. But here's where it gets interesting. Justin's marriage isn't just about him and Hailey either. It's a public experiment in stability after chaos, a statement to the world that he's grown, matured, and settled down. The problem? When your life has been a performance for so long, how do people ever believe you've taken off the mask? And if Justin's marriage is about proving something to the public, then can we really say it's just for him? Or is it still, in some ways, for us? While Justin built his new chapter with Hailey, Selena carved out her own empire. Music, acting, beauty lines, viral TikToks, she's not just thriving, she's dominating. Her humor-laced admission of being single but high maintenance isn't a cry for pity, it's a declaration of independence. Selena has mastered the art of turning pain into power. Her heartbreak fueled some of her most powerful music, her vulnerability earned her deeper respect from fans, and her resilience turned her into an icon for self-love in the spotlight. She's not the girl crying in a corner because of Justin anymore. She's the woman laughing with friends at a soccer game while casually shaking off absurd paparazzi questions. But here's the cliffhanger. Is her story of independence really the end of the Elena narrative? Or is it just another plot twist in the endless saga that refuses to fade? The tangled love web of Selena, Justin, and even Hailey isn't just celebrity drama, it's a case study for our generation. Social media has turned love into performance art. Relationships aren't just private journeys, they're public spectacles, curated in stories, filtered selfies, and cryptic captions. And here's the challenge. How do you know when your relationship is real and when it's just a performance? When do you stop worrying about the likes and start listening to your heart? When do you stop performing for an audience and start living for yourself? Selena and Justin's saga might be extreme, but it's not unique. It's a reflection of us all. So here's where we land. Whether you admit it or not, you're probably performing your relationship, at least a little, for other people. Selena and Justin just did it on a stage so big we couldn't look away. Their story is messy, dramatic, inspiring, frustrating, and deeply human. It's proof that love in the spotlight is never just between two people, it's between two people and the world watching. But it's also a reminder, you have the power to decide. Is your love for you, or is it for show? Are you living your story, or are you performing it for an audience that doesn't even know your middle name? Selena chose to laugh at the noise, embrace her singlehood, and reclaim her narrative. Justin chose to start a new chapter and build a family. And you? Well, your choice is waiting. Because at the end of the day, the only relationship worth having, the only one that can survive the chaos of opinions, paparazzi, and Instagram comments, is the one that's real. The one that's for you. So now it's your turn. Are you living your love story or performing it? Backhand index pointing out, drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and let's keep this conversation going. Love may be messy, but one thing's for sure, we're all tangled in the web together. In another news. Okay, let's set the scene. You think the Justin Bieber / Selena Gomez / Hailey Baldwin love triangle is ancient history, right? Like, filed away next to your old Tumblr password and those neon skinny jeans we all regret? Well, sorry to break it to you, but this saga is alive, thriving, and possibly messier than ever. And guess who just decided to stir the pot? None other than Taylor Swift, the queen of subtle shade, lyrical daggers, and bestie loyalty points that never expire. Yes, you read that right. Taylor has allegedly taken center stage, calling out Hailey Bieber and reopening one of pop culture's spiciest wounds. If you thought the Elena versus Hailey debate was over, buckle up, because this showdown is giving soap opera meets Greek tragedy meets Twitter meltdown. So how did we get here? Why are eyebrows suddenly a plot twist in this saga? And is it really true that Hailey once fangirled so hard over Justin and Selena that she accidentally manifested this drama into existence? Let's rewind, dive deep, and sip on this tea together. Picture it, 2010. Justin Bieber is the floppy-haired teen idol of every middle schooler's dreams, and Selena Gomez is Disney royalty. When the two link up, it feels like fate. Cue the matching outfits, paparazzi shots, and those now iconic beach photos that basically broke the internet before Instagram even had filters. Fans immediately coined the ship name Yelena, and suddenly, their love story wasn't just their own. It belonged to millions of Beliebers and Selenators who were emotionally invested. Like, the kind of invested where people made fan edits with 1,000 Years by Christina Perri on loop. But of course, fairy tales in Hollywood rarely stay picture perfect. Their relationship was the definition of on again, off again. One minute they're cuddling on red carpets, the next they're subtweeting each other like middle schoolers with too much Wi-Fi. And here's where things get spicy. Somewhere in the wings, a young Hailey Baldwin was watching it all unfold. Not just casually watching either, this girl was tweeting about it. Hardcore. We're talking fangirl-level commentary that basically screamed Team Yelena forever. Can you already feel the foreshadowing? Because this is the kind of origin story that future gossip blogs live for. Now, let's talk about Hailey. Long before she became Mrs. Bieber, she was the ultimate Belieber. Screenshots live forever, and let's just say her teenage Twitter history has resurfaced more times than a Kylie Jenner lip kit restock. One of the most infamous posts? 15-year-old Hailey tweeting, "I don't care what anyone says, but Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream." Ouch! The irony writes itself. At that point, nobody thought much of it. Just a fan shipping her fave couple. But fast forward a few years, and suddenly Hailey wasn't just in the audience, she was on stage. In 2018, after one of Yelena's many, "it's really over this time" breakups, Justin shocked the world by announcing his engagement to Hailey. The timeline? Let's just say it was fast enough to make fans whip out calculators and conspiracy boards. 6 months after Selena, he was not just moving on, he was walking down the aisle. Cue the chaos. Yelena stans felt betrayed. Selenators claimed Hailey stole him. Believers were divided. And Hailey? Well, she was suddenly the villain in a story she once fangirled over. Talk about a plot twist worthy of a telenovela. But wait, the tea kettle wasn't even whistling yet. Now if you're thinking, okay, maybe the drama cooled down after the wedding, think again. Because somehow, in 2023, eyebrows reignited the flames. Here's what went down. Selena posts a TikTok, joking about accidentally laminating her eyebrows too much. Harmless, right? Enter Kylie Jenner and Hailey Bieber, who post eyebrow pics right after, seemingly shading Selena. Whether it was coincidence or calculated shade, fans lost it. Suddenly, hashtag Team Selena versus hashtag Team Hailey was trending worldwide. People were zooming in on screenshots, analyzing Instagram stories like they were episodes of CSI. And guess whose name got dragged into the mess? Taylor Swift. Because if there's one thing you don't do, it's mess with Taylor's bestie. This is where the drama graduates from teen soap opera to full-on HBO special. When Hailey appeared to mock Taylor Swift in a resurfaced clip, rolling her eyes at Taylor's music career, Selena herself commented, "So sorry, my best friend is and continues to be one of the best in the game." Boom. Bestie loyalty activated. Suddenly, Taylor wasn't just a background character, she was in the arena. And if history has taught us anything, when Taylor gets involved, she doesn't just throw shade. She plants trees, waters them, and grows an entire lyrical forest out of it. Rumors began swirling. Was Taylor subtly shading Hailey in her eras to her speeches? Were certain lyrics reinterpreted as digs? Fans were combing through Easter eggs harder than Marvel nerds before an Avengers release. And here's where speculation goes wild. Insiders whispered that Taylor had receipts, proving Hailey wasn't as innocent in the Bieber love saga as she claimed. Was it timing? DMs? Old tweets? We don't know, but the Swifties were convinced Taylor was sitting on a vault of tea just waiting to be poured. Now, to be fair, Hailey hasn't exactly sat back and let the internet paint her as the villain. On Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy podcast, she broke her silence. Her version? She insists there was no overlap. That Justin was single when they reconnected. That she would never interfere with someone else's relationship. That the hate she gets online has crossed into bullying territory. And honestly, she had a point. Being married to Justin Bieber is basically living in a fishbowl. Every move, every post, every eyebrow raise becomes a headline. Still, the fandoms weren't buying it. Receipts from her old tweets, the eyebrow drama, and Selena's subtle nods kept the conspiracy fire burning. But here's where Taylor Swift's alleged involvement keeps fans hungry. If Taylor really did speak up behind the scenes, was she just defending Selena, or was she gearing up to expose something bigger? Now, let's be real. Fandoms can make the FBI look lazy. TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram detectives pieced together timelines, dug up decade-old tweets, and connected dots that may or may not exist. Some of the juiciest theories included that Hailey manifested Justin by obsessively shipping Yelena until she stepped in herself. That Justin married Hailey more out of rebellion than romance, to prove he'd moved on from Selena. That Taylor has been quietly shading Hailey in her lyrics for years, and we just didn't notice. Do any of these theories have solid proof? Not really. But in gossip land, speculation is half the fun. And as long as fans keep debating, the saga lives on. Here's the thing, celebrity love triangles are nothing new. But the reason this one refuses to die is because it taps into something bigger. Selena represents the first love, girl next door energy. Hailey represents the fangirl turned wife plot twist. Taylor represents the bestie bodyguard with lyrical knives. And Justin? Well, he's Justin, the heartthrob at the center of it all who somehow manages to look both deeply in love and completely overwhelmed at the same time. This isn't just a celebrity story, it's a fanfiction come to life. And as long as fandoms exist, the drama will keep recycling, re-emerging, and reigniting. So where does that leave us? Did Hailey really steal Justin? Or was it just messy timing? Did Selena really move on, or is she still throwing subtle shade? And most importantly, does Taylor Swift actually have the vault of receipts fans believe she does? At this point, the only guarantee is that the internet will never let it die. The eyebrow saga proved that even the smallest gesture can reignite a feud that fans are addicted to. And honestly, we're not complaining. Because admit it, you love this drama as much as I do. So, bestie, now it's your turn. Whose side are you on, Team Selena, Team Hailey, or Team Taylor? Do you think Hailey really manifested Justin, or is she unfairly painted as the villain? And do you believe Taylor has more tea to spill, or are fans just reaching? Drop your thoughts below, share this with your fellow gossip-loving friends, and let's keep this messy, chaotic, and wildly entertaining conversation alive. Because if there's one thing we know, it's that this saga is far from over.